and the test results are in. You are not the most efficient wheel. Welcome back to the Cobra Pit, whether you're a longtime viewer or a new subscriber like Dave Melcher. I see you. I appreciate every single one of you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Now, you guys know I am a wheel cover kind of guy, and I love switching it up. But typically, I go for fashion first, right? Just how they look. But I did leave in the comments with my latest wheels, the Arachnid Tesla Model S variant or look-alike or replica, if you will. I told you guys if you wanted me to do a range test on these, I'll do it. But just by the way this makes my car look, I think I'm gonna keep them on unless the range is just completely egregiously bad for the car. But we'll see, right? And the results are in. So I wanted to compare the Arachnids to the Uberturbines and also the Aerowheels just to give it a baseline. Now, you guys know I'm going to keep it as scientific as possible. First of all, Tesla likes to use watt hours per mile, which is probably the best way to measure the power used, the energy used when you travel a distance. For example, if an EV consumes 200 watt hours of energy to travel a distance of 1 mile, the energy efficiency will be 200 watt hours per mile. So the higher the watt hour per mile is, the more energy it's using. All right, so no more science mumbo jumbo, but I did need to isolate the variables. So when it comes to efficiency, there's lots of things that come into play. I charged the car to 75% before every trip. So I went to the supercharger that was nearest to the freeway. I went later at night, so you'll see the time there after 9 o'clock to make sure there wasn't very many cars on the road, so I don't have to stop and slow down or maneuver. I can use the same 5-mile stretch of road for each test. Now, some may say 5 miles is not enough, but you know what? I'm trying to keep the test as uniform and standardized as possible, and I think if I go over 5 miles, chances are something's going to happen. So I tried to build up to 70 miles per hour gradually, the same on all three. I engaged autopilot at the same location, and that's when I measured the 5 miles. I kept the cabin inside the car at 70 degrees. I kept the radio at the same volume. I tried to keep everything the same, what I can control. What I couldn't control was the temperature, the outside temperature dropping. For the first test, it was 63 degrees. For the second test, it was 62 degrees. And for the last test, it was 61 degrees. I don't know how much of a factor that is, but it's something to note. So I had so much success with the Uberturbines for my last test, I started with those. I got on the road, I engaged autopilot, I'm cruising along and I'm looking at the watt hours per mile and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? After 5 miles, the Uberturbines used 271 watt hours per mile. Yeah, that was way higher than last time. Now, there's so many different variables, right? So to really test it, you have to compare it to the other wheels on the same night. So I tried to throw that number out there and say, okay, 271 is a lot. So, all right, so I turned around, went back to the charging station, filled it up to 75% again. While I'm doing that, I'm switching off my Uberturbines and I put on my Arachnids. These don't look as aerodynamic, but whatever. So after I'm done, I'm ready to go. Hop back in the car, get back to the freeway, gradually increase my speed, get up to 70 miles per hour, engage autopilot. Here we go. To my surprise, after 5 miles, the Arachnids only use 253 watt hours per mile. 253. That's a huge difference. I'm like, nah, that can't be right? Because the Ubers blew all the other wheels away that I had. So I'm like, how are these Arachnids more efficient? So I'm like, okay. So, I finished, I turned around, I went back to the superchargers, and I said, let me test the Aerowheels now. So, same thing. Refueled the car, you get the point. Changed to the Aerowheels, you get the point. Get back on the freeway gradually. Engage autopilot at the same location at 70 miles per hour. No car slowed me down or anything. After 5 miles, the Aerowheels use 261 watt hours per mile. I'm like, okay, so these end up being more efficient than the Ubers tonight, but the Arachnids end up being the most efficient tonight. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty interesting. So then I'm thinking, I wonder what has changed? Why are the Ubers the least efficient now? And I was just thinking, and then I just came up with, science. So I was like, I should do a test again another night. And I say, you know what, the real scientific process, I'm gonna keep doing the test over and over, and then, tally all of my recordings and I wasn't doing all that. So tonight, by far, the wheels that are most efficient on my Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus, the Arachnids. So as of today, I'm going to crown these the efficiency king and also the fashion king, aesthetic king. They look the best to me. But the Uberturbines look dope too. So it's really like whatever you really like, your style. And I think in a grand scheme of things, range, I don't know how big of an impact the wheels are, but it is what it is. Hey, thanks for watching. Oh, links to everything is in the description. The Ubers, the Aerowheels if you need some more, and the Arachnids. Hey, tell me your thoughts in the description. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, Cobra told ya. All right, y'all.